Welcome to Gab Sessions with Stephanie Marie, aka Gabbie. This is a space where we talk business, growth, and the messy middle of entrepreneurship, with a little real life mixed in. Every week, I'll bring you clarity, confidence, and momentum to help you create your version of success. Grab your coffee and let's dive in. Let's be real. AI isn't coming for your job. It's coming for your inaction. The people who win in this next season aren't the ones who know everything. They're the ones who are willing to learn, adapt, and move. This is day 18 of the 90-day CEO sprint, and I thought we might talk a little bit about AI, and I'm here to tell you if you're standing still, you're already behind. I want to welcome you back to Gab Sessions with Stephanie Marie, aka Gabbie. I'm a business strategist, accountability coach, and the founder of Business Growth Society and VIP, where I help entrepreneurs simplify strategy, implement systems, and grow with clarity, content, and community. And try to get you to take some action so you can create your version of success. So today, let's talk a little bit about something that's changing the game, and I've implemented it a lot in my business, and that's AI. And this is how you can decide to be in the game, not left watching from the sidelines. You can either embrace it or not. And AI is really, it's not a threat like everybody is saying. They're like, oh, it's a threat. It's just like with computers. Back in the day, I'm old. And I remember when I worked for a government contractor and we basically had the internet before the internet was a big thing. It was during the time of you've got mail and chat rooms and things like that. And everyone was fearful that computers would replace people's jobs. Really, it just allowed us to work smarter and not harder. And that is my feeling with AI. AI can't replace your creativity. It can't replace your voice, your empathy, your lived experiences, but it can replace inefficiencies. It can replace the person who refuses to adapt, because this isn't about tools. It's about mindset. Those who are curious, who experiment, who play, they'll thrive with it. Those who freeze, who wait for perfect, or who keep saying, I'll learn it later, or I don't need to learn it, will find themselves stuck. And the gap between thinking about it and using it, that's the gap where our opportunity lives. So my story with AI, I've been using it for actively using it for over 4 years. And when I was thinking about it one day when I was driving, I tend to think a lot when I'm driving and it's quiet. I was thinking, I ought to build an AI, or how cool would it be if I could clone me, essentially. And that's why I built my little Gabbie AI, the CEO sprint coach. I didn't build it because I needed another project. Trust me, I have more than enough things going on. I don't need another project. I have several undone projects, if we're going to be honest. I built it because I saw how much time entrepreneurs waste in confusion, or how many ideas die in notebooks. I have the notebooks to prove that theory. And how many brilliant people stay small and don't shine bright because they're afraid of the tech. And I help my clients every day with the tech stack, and how to understand what tech they need for their business, and what tech makes sense for their business and what tech doesn't. And just because one guru has a certain tech doesn't necessarily mean you need that tech. And so I help people understand that. I help them implement it, and I help them take action with it, because I'm a firm believer that they should understand it before they delegate it. And then some of my clients just delegate it to me and have me run all the things for them. So it just depends on where you're at and what you need. And so I have clients at different levels of need and desire, and some that will delegate and some that don't. So, a lot of them, I explain to them the tech, and they don't want to know how to do it, but they need to understand it because it's part of their business. So instead of fighting the change, I decided to just lead it. AI is cool. It's fun. It's creative. There's parts of it that I still struggle with, and you're constantly learning something every day. I think that's in tech. in general in this. If you're not growing daily, you're not, I could say you're not growing, and that just sounds silly because if you're not learning something, I think what I meant to say is if you're not learning something daily, you're not growing. That's what I meant to say. It's been a week. I'm tired. And the words, right? Thank goodness for editing. Maybe I'll edit that out. Maybe I won't. But let's get back to AI. So instead of fighting the change, I decided to basically lead it. So now my clients and community can access my strategies, my frameworks, and coaching through AI anytime, anywhere. So accessibility. Its structure is, meets my creative heart, and the heart meets innovation. That's what the next era of business is about. And so you don't need to master AI, you just need to start using it. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to know every command or prompt. You just need to start and start using it to plan like little things like your week or outline your content or write an email or brainstorm a new offer or use it to journal your ideas or use it for personal things. Like say you want a new diet plan for the next 7 days, give it some parameters and see what it comes up with. Or use AI for something creative. I recently asked it to help me find a Hallmark town in the state of Texas. And I gave it the parameters that I wanted in my Hallmark town. And it gave me 5 cities. And then I took it one step further and I said, and I gave it some criteria. What cities would you recommend in the state of Texas? And then I took it another step after it gave me 5 cities. I said, with no bias, based on everything it knows about me, and I've been using it for 4 years, so. And everything that I want, what I desire, what I'm looking for, geographically, no bias, give me 5 Hallmark towns. And it gave me 5, and 3 of them were in Texas, because I wanted to make sure that there was no bias of it thinking that I only wanted to be in Texas. And so do something creative that way, or ask it anything if you're curious about something. I'll sometimes ask it silly things or tell me everything you know about, and then it will. AI is just a mirror. It reflects the clarity you bring to it. So if you've been waiting for the right time to try, this is it. Not because you're behind, but because you're being invited to build differently. So as part of day 18 of the 90, as we push through this 4th quarter, let's adapt in action. I would like to challenge you to try one new AI tool this week, whether it be like ChatGPT, My Custom GPT. There is so many other ones. There's Claude, Perplexity, anyone, in any of the drawing ones, Midjourney. This is what I'll do. I'm going to put in chat while we're talking, and I'm going to ask it to please list me the top 10 beginner-friendly AI tools. How's that? Let's see what he says. Let's see what Charlie has to say about this on the fly. So the top 10 beginner-friendly AI tools. ChatGPT, go figure. Canva plus Magic Design, Magic Studio. Grammarly. No one ever thinks about that being AI, but it is. Notion AI, Otter, Jasper, Midjourney, Google Bard, Hugging Face. Try out various AI models, text, image, audio through easy web interface. I've never heard of that one. And then Lumen 5. 11 Labs, that's another one. HeyGen, that's another one that I wasn't thinking about. It's not as beginner friendly. Now I'm going to say intermediate and creative, and have it give me a list. And let's see if it gives us something new that I haven't talked about. Midjourney, Adobe Firefly, Stable Diffusion, Runway ML, Cray.ai, Predits, Imagine Art, Spellburst, Idea Blocks. Like, you could just ask it that. Ask it for an AI to do XYZ. So I challenge you to find one new AI tool this week and just play for it for 30 minutes and see what you think. And see if, it can save you time. I would pick something and just play with it like creatively. And then I would pick something and say, find a task that takes you like an hour typically to do, and ask it to do it for you and see how long it takes. Notice how it makes you think differently about your process. That's the power of adaptation. It's not going to be perfect. You will need to refine it. It is a progress. It is a process, and it will make progress. You might even want to give it one of the prompts of, help me create a 7-day social media campaign based on, in whatever topic you are wanting to talk about that week, with a posting strategy of, with so many posts a day based on what framework, and talk to it like you would if you were talking to a social media manager. Like if you had a social media manager on staff and you said, hey, we got this new campaign and we need to do a 7-day hard push. We want to make sure that it is engaging, that it's in alignment with our brand, that we mention that the campaign consists of XYZ, all the parameters, and just as if you were talking to somebody across the table from you, type that into ChatGPT and ask it to create a 7-day social media campaign and see what it gives you. You might be surprised and you might love it, you might hate it, or you might say, oh, if I said this differently, then it would give me this. But don't just say, give me 7 ideas for 7 TikTok posts. It's going to give you something very generic, very non-relevant, very out of the can, because you didn't give it any details. Tell it what your brand is. Tell it what your mission is. Tell it what your goal is. One of my favorite things to do with ChatGPT is to say, hey, I'm a business owner of blah, 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 and I want to do XYZ. What 10 questions do you have for me to help me with a 30-day social media campaign? And then answer those questions. Or ask it, what do you need? What questions do you have for me to help me write XYZ? Like, give it the information that it needs. If it doesn't know what your mission is, what your goals are in your company, what your culture is, sayings that you use, your foundation, your frameworks, then it's not going to be able to produce what you want it to produce. You have to give it the knowledge. You have to give it and teach it like you would an employee, teach them, and then it will be able to pull from its knowledge base and basically collaborate with you. So I challenge you to use some AI this week. And I would love for you to leave comments, send me an email at heythere@gabbieandcompany.com, and let me know what you're trying. Check out my custom chat GPT, or join me inside my free Business Growth Society, or join me inside BIP and let me help you with your AI or anything else that you have going on in your business. But I do challenge you to test one of the tools or test a bunch of them. It's a rabbit hole. So I would time block it. You know what I think about time blocking. Time block 15 to 30 minutes a day and just play with some AI. and see what you think. I think you might be pleasantly surprised, or you might find that you absolutely hate it. And if you do, you do, and that's okay. But it won't replace your ideas. But not taking any action will. Leverage the AI. This world is moving fast, but as a creator, as someone who contributes to your community, and as a builder, as a CEO, you will lead in the way that you should. And so take some action and block some time and try out AI. Try out whichever one you're attracted to. Or if you've heard someone talk about another one, try it out and see if you like it. There's some that I like and some that I don't. And so they're all a little bit different. And that's okay. I kind of compare it to Windows users, like PC users and Mac users. It's a different user experience. And so different AI will have a different experience for the user. And we all are attracted to things that are different. That's what makes it amazing. So I would go ahead, try it out this week, and take some action. Check out my custom GPT, Gabbie, the CEO Sprint Coach for yourself. Again, join me inside Business Growth Society VIP, where I teach you how to simplify, systemize, and scale in the new era of business. And if this episode lit a fire under you and encourages you to try something new, share it with somebody else that might get something from it as well. Tell me in the comments, but tell someone it's time to stop waiting and start building. Go check out my socials, follow me, heart me, comment, all the things. Send me an email, heythere@gabbieandcompany.com. And remember, messy momentum is still momentum. Have an amazing weekend. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for listening to Gab Sessions with Stephanie Marie. If today's episode gave you clarity, confidence, or momentum, hit subscribe and share it with a friend who needs it too. Want to go deeper? You can join me inside Business Growth Society or email me at stephaniemarie@gabbieandcompany to see how we can work together. Remember, stop overthinking, start building, and create your version of success. I'll see you next time.